Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Born and dead, saved by love. Count my blessings from above. Though in darkness, have no fear. Light will shine on those holding near. They know that sorrow they will pass. For I know in this life there will be something. But remember that love, yes it will. Love will reign. Yeah. Love will reign. Yeah. In my heart, I believe it. Love will reign. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Have a vision. It's clear and plain. People live and laugh, smiling again. Oh, see the children, they know no pain. Far from pressure, stress and strain. Oh, sorrow, they will pass. For I know in this life there's gonna be some pain. But remember that love, yes it will. I know. Yeah. Love will reign. Gotta believe it. In my heart, I truly believe. Sun will shine again, and love, I can hardly wait. We'll all be together. There'll be peace, peace, sweet peace. Happiness and joy forever. Oh, yeah. One day, someday, pain will be over and love will reign. They won't last, for I know in this life there's gonna be some pain. But in the end, love will reign. Yeah.
All right, love will reign. We're having some technical difficulties, it appears. Bernard Colby Turner has joined us on Facebook. I hope you will click share. I just want to check to make sure that I can be heard on all platforms. Let's make sure. All right. So it looks like we're having some challenges. Okay, good. I'm able to be heard on all platforms. I'm Marcus Holmes, the love activist. I'm excited that you are here with me, whether you're watching me live on TikTok Live, which we're watching from a separate device on TikTok. All of you that are there, give me some likes and loves there. And here on Facebook Live, Marcus, our homes page, the Love and Stuff page, and all of the love groups and groups that we're connected to, whether you're watching us on YouTube events or Twitch TV. Forgive us those that will watch on Instagram tonight. We're having some technical difficulties, but we're going to power through because we've got an amazing show. I think it might have a little bit to do with this background that's happening behind me. Sometimes it takes extra juice from us, but we're going to keep going. Hello, Kay. Hello, all of you that are live on TikTok and those of you that are on Facebook Live. Drop in the comments a hello so that I can share that across platforms. Of course, TikTok, we're kind of on a separate platform right now. And I just want to say hello to everybody that's here. So thank you so much. And I want to jump right into the topic. And I hope that you will click share, tag 5 of your closest friends, connections, followers, or subscribers, 5 of the more popular ones to join us in tonight's discussion, which I think you will find very interesting. Straight from the inbox. Again, we're back to the inbox tonight. And we're talking about that seasonal love spell that hits when the weather drops and the blankets get thicker. It's called cuffing season. And forgive me, I'm looking at 2 different cameras because we couldn't get the TikTok in through our restream. So don't act like you don't know what I'm talking about. You know, the text messages come at a certain time of the year and they start sounding a little sweeter. That, hey, stranger, hey, mister, hey, ma'am, hit your phone around Yom Kippur, no, around Halloween. And by Thanksgiving, they're already leaving clothes or hoodies at your place. And when spring comes, they disappear like pollen in the wind. Anybody familiar with that? Well, that's what we're talking about. Thank you for joining us. So here from the inbox, she writes, Dear Love and Stuff, I think I've been cuffed. Every fall, he reappears, texting more, spending nights, cooking breakfast, even asking about my day like we're something real. But I've started to notice a pattern. When the temperature drops, he's all in. When spring hits, I can't even get a call back. He's not a bad man. He's sweet, consistent until he's not. But lately, his presence feels shallow. He's there for the intimacy, but emotionally, he's checked out. Am I crazy for wanting something more during cuffing season? Or do I just accept that this is what it is? A seasonal relationship, I call it situationship, with benefits. I'm cold and confused. So I want to hear from you, those that are joining across platforms. I'm going to drop this topic in the comments so that you can have it posted. I'm sorry that TikTok, I can't drop it in the comments. They don't give me enough characters to be able to do that. But the rest of you, I'm going to drop it in the comments and hopefully pin it so that you will be able to see it as we go through this topic. And I shared some information with um, her that I think might be helpful. So I pinned it and I hope that it will populate among platforms very shortly. So she's saying she's been cuffed. She believes that the relationship appears to get better closer as it gets to the winter, and then it fades and fizzles other parts of the year. If anyone has experienced this or anyone has any comments, drop those comments in. Drop your comments in the chat so that we can get those comments going. And I shared with her some information that might be helpful for you. You know, I'm the love activist, so I'm not a psychologist, loveologist. I'm an activist. I gather the information to hopefully help you improve your love game. Love with God, love with self, love with others. So, um, cuffing season, some researchers say, is a real psychological pattern. So it's not just something made up, some psychologists say. Researchers note that loneliness, shorter daylight hours, and colder temperatures increases the desire for companionship and physical closeness. That's from our book from 2021, Journal of Society and Social and Personal Relationships. And he says this creates a spike in temporary relationships that mimic commitment, but are really fueled by seasonal affective triggers, not long term compatibility. So recognize that someone's desires for closeness with you or even yours might be circumstantial, they might not be emotional destiny. Okay. So you got to give it the spring test. If it can't last past March, it may not be love. And so there are some things that we want you to consider in your how to um, determine whether or not you or someone else wants emotional or physical connection and not merely relationship connection. So it's a how to test the season, not the person. Okay. So, number one, in testing the season, not the person, is the spring test. Okay. And you might journal each month about his or her consistency. Psychologist Dr. Gary Lewandowski from Monmouth University notes that emotional reliability over time can predict long term satisfaction instead of passion spikes, what he calls passion spikes. So if affection fades as the weather warms, it may simply be seasonal coping. Okay. So you want to do the spring test, right? Number two, the emotional weather check. Okay. Kay says, so she's being a convenience for him. He's using her. Maybe. And maybe there is, as we'll talk later on, Kay, some things that we should communicate to ensure that our emotions aren't wrapped up in a cuff, right? The emotional weather check is rate your weekly emotions on a scale of 1 to 10. Happy, secure, connected. So connected is 10, happy, secure is 5. Happy is to the lower end because happy is more temporal, right? And then compare that to your environment. Is the environment filled with darkness, extra stress, isolation? Dr. Norman Rosenthal's research on seasonal affective disorder, or SAD, suggests loneliness can mimic romantic longing. So you think that you're longing for romance, but it might be seasonal affective disorder that is mimicking that romantic longing. Okay. And number three, the companionship versus compatibility exercise. Write 2 columns: comfort and compatibility. Under comfort, list all the cozy moments. Under compatibility, list your shared values and future goals. If comfort has more on the list, comfort wins and it's cuffing, not likely coupling. So you got to weigh out companionship versus compatibility. We're talking tonight from the inbox of a woman, African American woman. Thank you, Alan Esther, for joining us, who says, I've been cuffed. That every fall, this guy appears and she admits that she enjoys the intimacy. And he starts texting more, spending the night, leaving clothes over, cooking breakfast, even texting her, seeing how her day is going, telling her have a good day. And this happens kind of consistently when the temperature drops, she says. He's all in. And when the temperature lightens, she can't get a call or text back. She says he's sweet and consistent until he's not. But his presence to her lately feels shallow, that he's there for that intimacy, that sex, but emotionally he's checked out. And she's saying, is she crazy for wanting something more during cuffing season? or should she just accept it for what it is? A seasonal relationship. I say a seasonal situationship. I got that word from a minister who passed away, bless his memory. Now, I know somebody out there is saying, but he's there every night, right? He's spending the night. Well, listen, being there isn't the same as being in it, because you can be laying next to somebody every night and still feel completely alone. Dr. Brene Brown says vulnerability, being open about your needs, your fears, and your truths, is the foundation of connection. And without it, you're just sharing a bed, not a bond. And so, according to her in her book, The Gifts of Imperfection, vulnerability is the foundation of true connection. When one partner is physically present but emotionally guarded, the other begins to experience what's called emotional deprivation, an unmet need for validation and empathy and or both. So, empathy without emotional vulnerability leads to emotional burnout. And what she advises is for you to stop making consistency, or stop mistaking rather consistency for connection. You need to ask direct emotional questions. What do you want from me beyond this? Or where do you see this going? And if he or she deflects, that's your answer. Dr. Brown emphasizes vulnerability since it's the cornerstone, she says, of meaningful intimacy. People experience this emotional loneliness when they don't have vulnerability, even while they're physically together. And so here are the how to's that I gathered for our inbox person and that you might want to use as well, relative to this second point about emotional vulnerability can lead to burnout when you have just intimacy. So there are ways to turn presence into partnership. Number one, ask emotionally intelligent questions like, what makes you feel loved? Or how do you handle when we have conflicts in values, or conflicts in consistency, or conflicts in time? Relationship researcher Dr. John Gottman calls these bids for connection. Frequent avoidance of emotional topics predicts detachment. So be aware, not beware, but be aware when your partner avoids having emotional topic driven conversations. Okay. Number two, observe response patterns and not just words, because inconsistent partners often show avoidant behavior, changing subjects, saying, let's talk about this later, shutting down, dismissive feelings, or joking sometimes to deflect intimacy or more intimate conversations. And track how they respond when you're being vulnerable, because this reveals their commitment to depth, to go deeper into relationship with you. So number one is ask emotionally intelligent questions. Two, observe response patterns, not words. And three, name your needs. And some say wants. Dr. Nedra Tawwab teaches that boundaries lose power when we over explain. State, I value emotional openness. If we can't build that, I'll need to step back. Then observe, don't chase. Consistency is an action, it's not a conversation. Tell me if any of that is resonating with you by dropping in the comments if any of this is um, are items that you have seen or experienced. I'm going to go right into um, Number three, just to make sure we don't have any technical difficulties happen, but we do have partners that we want to tell you about, and we'll get to them in just one moment after we go to the next section, which is about avoiding fantasy bonding. So let me tell you something about fantasy bonding. Dr. Robert Firestone says it's when you build intimacy in your imagination while the other person just performs love or just is performative. You start writing the script of the relationship and they're just showing up for the rehearsals. Have you ever been in love with potential? That's a fantasy bond. And here's how to spot it so that you give yourself a reality check for the heart. Okay. Dr. Robert Firestone from Psych Alive warns about fantasy bonding, relationships where one person creates emotional intimacy while the other merely performs the motions of love. It feels like closeness, but it's very one-sided. Anybody ever experienced that? You got to check whether you're building memories or maintaining illusions. Okay? So you got to determine how often are plans mutual. If you're always initiating it, you're maintaining the fantasy. Okay? Dr. Firestone warns that people create this fantasy bond to avoid facing disinterest. This illusion releases oxytocin during touch, tricking the brain into feeling emotionally connected when you really aren't. And how to do a reality check for the heart to ensure that it's not emotional fantasy or fantasy bonding. Number one, the reciprocity audit. For 1 week, take a tally of who initiates calls, plans, or affection. Clinical psychologist Dr. Ramani Durvasala notes that asymmetrical effort breeds codependency. So if 80% of the actions start with you, you're sustaining the fantasy alone. So that's number one, the reciprocity audit. Number two, listen for micro disengagement. Phrases like, you know, I'm not good with relationships, or let's take this slow, or let's not overthink this, is a way that someone may be signaling you that they want to maintain some distance. Therapist Esther Perel calls this performative closeness, gestures that look intimate but protect emotional distance. So listen for micro disengagement. And number three, ground the bond in shared experiences. So replace sex only time with daytime activities or other time activities, cooking, errands, volunteering. Research from the Gottman Institute shows couples who integrate routine activities report 42% higher relational satisfaction. If he or she disappears when the clothes stay on, the fantasy collapses. So, how to do the reality check for the heart? Number one, the reciprocity audit. Okay. Tally who initiates cause, affection, and plans. Listen for micro engagement, disengagement. Number two, with phrases like, I'm not good with relationships. Let's slow this down. Let's not overthink this, right? It's performative closeness, gestures that look intimate but protect emotional distance. And then number three, ground the bond in shared experiences. Okay. So make sure that you replace the sex only time or intimacy only time with other activities, maybe other daytime activities if that's when it happens in the night, however that works for you. All right. I want to share with you one of our wonderful partners, Christina, the money coach. If you're thinking in this time that you need to get your financial future together, well, listen, we have an amazing partner, um, Christina, the money coach, and you want to learn more about her.
Welcome to Powerful Money Tools LLC. At Powerful Money Tools, we are here to prepare for your future. We want to talk about financial freedom. Financial freedom is budgeting, credit building, and also financial education. So, once again, welcome to Powerful Money Tools LLC. We can't wait to help you in your financial future.
Little technical difficulty, but Christina, let me tell you about Christina Smith. She has a heart and a passion to help people who want to get their financial footing and step forward into their financial future, which she says that includes budgeting, saving your money, investing your money, clearing up your credit and debt, investing in business ventures, structuring your money in life so that insurances and wills and trust, all of those things help to protect your financial future. And listen, she's helped especially women in the Love and Stuff community, helping them to get on a higher level. If you're looking to solidify your financial future and move it forward, reach out to Powerful Money Tools LLC across all platforms. They can't wait to help you in your financial future, and we thank them for their partnership. Right? I'm going back into from our inbox topic. We are talking about um, um, someone who feels like they've been cuffed. Every fall, he reappears, texting more, spending nights, cooking breakfast, even asking about her day. But she noticed patterns that when the temperature drops, he's all in. And when spring hits, she can't even get a call back. He's not a bad man, she says. He's sweet, consistent until he's not. Is she crazy for wanting something more during cuffing season, or should she just accept this for what it is? A seasonal relationship. I say seasonal situationship or situationship, and mark it for what it is. I want to hear from you. What do you think that she should do? We talked about ways that might help her. Um, Cuffing season, number one, is a real psychological pattern, according to the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships. And we gave you 3 ways how to test the season, not the person. The spring test, journaling about his consistency or hers. Number 2, the emotional weather check, rating your weekly emotions on happy, secure, and connected on a scale. The companionship versus compatibility exercise, making 2 columns, one for comfort, listing all the cozy moments, one for compatibility, listing the shared values and future goals. And if comfort wins, it's cuffing. If compatibility wins, it's coupling. Okay. Number 2, intimacy without emotional vulnerability leads to emotional burnout. We talked from Dr. Brene Brown's work, The Gift of Imperfection. The vulnerability is the foundation of true connection. So you got to stop mistaking consistency for connection. And the how to turn presence into partnership. Number 1, ask emotionally intelligent questions. What makes you feel loved? How do you handle conflict over values, over this? Frequent avoidance of emotional topics are a red flag that predicts detachment. Number 2, observe response patterns, not words. Watch their avoidant behavior. Do they change the subject? Do they dismiss your feelings? Do they joke to deflect intimate conversations? And 3, name your needs once. Dr. Tawab, Nedra Tawab says, teach boundaries. Boundaries lose power when we over explain. So state what you want, and then observe and don't chase. Number 3, avoid fantasy bonding. Dr. Firestone warns about fantasy bonding, relationship where one person creates emotional intimacy And the other person is more performative. They do the motions of love. And how to reality check for the heart? Number one, the reciprocity audit. Tally who initiates calls, takes plans, or initiates affection. Number two, listen for micro disengagement. Phrases like, I'm not good at relationships. I'm not the commitment type. Slow this down. Let's not overthink this. It's called performative closeness, gestures that look intimate, but protect emotional distance. And number three, ground the bond in shared experiences. So replace sex only time with other activities, cooking, errands, volunteering. The Gottman Institute shows couples who do this report 42% higher relational satisfaction. Okay. So, all right, family, let's talk about the real reason some of us fall harder when the weather gets colder. It's not just the chill in the air, it's our attachment system waking up. Psychologist John Bowlby says our attachment style forms early in life. It's how we learn to connect, to chase, or to pull away. And in cuffing season, those patterns can come roaring back like they've never left. See, if you got an anxious style, you may crave closeness. You may text more. You may overanalyze pauses or silence and confuse intensity for intimacy. If you're avoidant, you show up strong until someone asks for consistency. Then you ghost. Not because you don't care, but because closeness feels like danger to you. And if you're secure, you can give love and receive it, even when the temperature changes. Now, which are you? Drop in the comments. Are you anxious, avoidant, or secure? Because most of us are somewhere between anxious and avoidance. Come here, but not too close. So let's talk about how we might then stop repeating the same winter cycle heartbreak. Know your attachment season. Attachment theory, Dr. Bowlby, Hazen and Shaver, and others explains how insecurely attached individuals seek comfort during vulnerable seasons. Avoidant partners often engage during cuffing season because temporary closeness feels safer than commitment. So you might not want to diagnose that person until you define your attachment pattern. You can take an attachment style test from the Attachment Project. If you're anxious, preoccupied, cuffing season may trigger fear of abandonment. Learn to self-soothe before seeking reassurance. And if you're interested in the Attachment Project, drop in the comments, interested, and we'll get a copy of that to you. Of course, it's for free. So seeking closeness briefly, which is avoidant attachment, versus clinging to short-term affection, which is anxious attachment. You need to know your attachment season so you know how to decode your own attachment triggers. And here are the three things that you can do to do just that. Identify your style. So you can take the Attachment Project test. Dr. Amir Levine describes how anxious types overinvest early, while avoidance peekaboo emotionally. They appear and disappear. Okay. So number one is identify your style. Number two, interrupt the chase withdrawal cycle. When someone pulls away from you, instead of pursuing them, pause. Boy, isn't that difficult? Because you want to know what happened. Why can't we get connected? Pause. Therapist Dr. Stan Tatkin advises self-soothing techniques, deep breathing, journaling, or calling a friend not to talk about it, but instead of reacting, so that you can soothe yourself and come into terms that you might be responding based out of your own attachment triggers. So this breaking this loop prevents you from being emotionally exhausted. Have you ever wondered, okay, they pulled back, is something wrong with me? Okay, what did I do? What did I say? Okay, and you get to running this narrative that it's really about you, when in fact it may not. It could be their response to your attachment triggers, but it may not have anything to do with you. So break the loop so you save yourself from having that emotional exhaustion. So number 2 is interrupt the chase withdraw cycle. Okay. And number 3, choose regulation before reconnection. Psychologist, Sue Johnson, uh, writer of Hold Me Tight, notes that secure relationships form when both partners can regulate what they characterize as distress. So before texting, ask, am I seeking connection or reassurance? Because reassurance is temporary, and connection, quite differently, is mutual. Are you seeking the mutuality of the interaction, or are you seeking reassurance that nothing is wrong with you? Okay, the former, the connection is mutual, is what you want to be going after, right? Because here's the truth: love, or the pursuit of it, without boundaries can turn into begging. And psychologist Nedra Tawwab says, you teach people how to treat you by what you allow. And if you keep accepting seasonal love, you're telling the universe that temporary is just enough. I want you to think about that for just one moment. I often share this with people. It's a phrase that I just love. You teach people how to treat you. And Dr. Tawwab says you teach people how to treat you by what you allow. So in the context of tonight's conversation, if you have a seasonal love, or you have a sometime love, or you have a somebody that sometimes love, and you accept it, not only are you telling that person that it's acceptable, you're telling the universe, send me more of that. That temporary is enough. You are worthy, but you must send out into the world, into the universe, your acceptation of your worthiness. And when you settle for less, you're telling the universe, less than what I deserve is enough. So I'm going to talk a little bit about 3 steps to boundaries that stick, especially for this case is important, and maybe for some of you. Continuing with psychologist Nedra Glover Tawwab's work, Set Boundaries, Find Peace, she emphasizes that boundaries are how we teach others to treat us. That we don't have to negotiate for crumbs when you deserve consistency. You have to decide what you will no longer accept: ghosting, non-committal talk, emotional absence, and you must communicate it firmly once, then observe behaviors, not promises. Boundaries, she goes on to say, preserve self-respect and provide relational balance. Without limits, we literally train others to treat us poorly. So here are the 3 things to build boundaries that stick. Number 1, clarify what is non-negotiable. List the behaviors that deplete you. that make you feel disrespected, that make you feel offended. Maybe they're ghosting. Maybe it's last minute text or late night text, casual disrespect. What you're really creating, clinical psychologist Dr. Lindsay Gibson says, is a minimum standards list so that you can begin to internalize your limits. So, number one, clarify what's non negotiable. Number two, communicate once clearly. And Tawab has a script model that she uses in her teaching. She says, when you do X, I feel Y, I need Z. An example is, when you vanish for days, I feel dismissed. I need consistency or closure. When you do X, I feel Y, and I need Z. When you do X, I feel Y, I need Z. When you vanish for days, I feel disrespected. When you vanish for days, I feel dismissed. I need consistency. I need closure. Avoid long debates on it, because your boundaries are declarations, not dialogues. I want you to put that in the comments. My boundaries are declarations, not dialogues. You have the right to set boundaries for relationships and relational being, for interactions, for exchanges. Set boundaries because they are your declarations, not dialogues. And three, after you've communicated once clearly, you've clarified what's non-negotiable, you enforce with consequences. If boundaries are violated continually, or in some cases once, act. Because if you act consistently, you teach respect. And withdrawal of access is healthier than punishment. You're modeling self-love, not rejection. I would tell you that there are the 3 C's of cuffing. They're the 3 C's of cuffing: clarity. And before I give you those 3 C's of cuffing clarity, I want to make sure that you know we appreciate whether you're watching us live on TikTok. I'm pointing there because they're on a different platform. Facebook, the Love and Stuff community, whom we love and adore. All of the love groups that we're connected to and other groups that we're connected to on Facebook. I see our Kamal Williams is saying, no boundaries have been established. What does she really want? Have you had a conversation? Yeah, I think you, as I often say, Kamal, oftentimes we're talking, but we're talking in our own language. So I believe she's saying to him, I wish you would do this. But if you don't set those boundaries, right, she really has set a boundary, in my estimation. It's a seasonal boundary. You can come in every season, spend the night, text me more, stay over, cook breakfast, spend holiday time with me, sit around the fireplace, go to the movies, hang out, all of the warm and fuzzies until the warm and fuzzies are no longer warm and fuzzies. That's the boundary. Now she must say, if she wants a different boundary, a different outcome, here are the new boundaries. And she must stick to those boundaries, but she must learn what her triggers are, attachment triggers, attachment style, and it would be good to learn his as well. Yes. So I think she really wants more, but she hasn't communicated those boundaries. You know, if we say, I want more, but our boundaries say, I'll take anything you send me, then I think you put that into the universe and that's what comes back to you, because you have power in with what you say. Okay. I love that, Kamal. Thank you so much for sharing. And if you want to hear the best talk show and sports. Tune in Saturdays at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time with Kamal and Felix. Sports Talk with Kamal and Felix is the best show to watch on Saturdays to get your day going. If you're cleaning the house, if you're driving, if you're in the barbershop, which we're going to be talking to barbershops all month long, this is the best thing that you want to do on Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right. Thank you, Kamal. But across platforms, loving stuff. And someone's commenting, trying to get us to get cheap viewers. No, thank you. But on Twitch, on YouTube events tonight, we are not live on Instagram, and we are live on TikTok on a separate platform because we couldn't get it tied in. But we wanted to keep our TikTok folks engaged. Those of you that have been responding to the Tuesday night, we love that you're here. And I want you to think about this. There are many things you can take from this lesson, I hope. But I want you to think about something that might not be as well known or well regarded or well utilized, is these attachment styles. If you're an anxious person, generally, or that's how you attach to people out of that anxiousness, or you're an avoidant person, you must take that into consideration because you have triggers different than a person who is secure has triggers, right? Every type of attachment has triggers. So it's important that you learn your triggers because sometimes you're responding out of those triggers, expecting a different response from someone else. You got to dial into that to know that if you are a person that is avoidant, you are more likely to pop in and pop out of a situation, right? And so that shows up as abandonment to some people who are anxious, and they might pursue you even more. Have you ever tried to avoid somebody and they pursued you even more? They may have an anxious attachment style because they're wondering, what's wrong with me? What did I do wrong to you? Why can't I connect more with you? I want to connect more with you. And it's really because your attachment style is not consistent. It isn't because theirs isn't or is. It's because they are responding to who you are. And that's why these 3 C's of cuffing clarity, if you will, are important. And I think are great takeaways for you. Number 1 is clarity, the first C. Define what you need. Define what you want, not what you'll settle for. This is so powerful and important because oftentimes someone will define what you want or need for you if you don't be careful. And you'll say, well, I guess that's okay. If you find yourself shrugging your shoulders and saying, well, I guess that could work, that means you're preparing yourself to settle. You need to clearly define what do you need and what do you want. Okay? Clearly know that with every relationship. Maybe you want something differently than they do, but you have to put it out there to make sure they understand what you need and want, not what you're willing to settle for. Don't lead with what you're settling for. Don't settle. Define what you need and what you want. That's number 1. Number 2, which is a common thread that we say all the time here in Love and Stuff, you can probably guess it. Communication. Ask for what you need and want. Ask for emotional reciprocity and not just physical presence, not just physical consistency. Ask for what you need and what you expect in return for what you are giving. Ask, don't assume. Don't expect anything that you have not demanded. Ask. Okay, that's number 2. And number 3, courage. The third C of cuffing clarity is courage. Walk away from seasonal love stories. to make room for timeless ones if that's what you want. If you're open for the seasonal cliffhanger every year, then that's what you want. Okay. But if the seasonal cliffhanger leaves you hanging and it's not the love story that you wanted to author or be a part of, walk away from it and make room for the regular show that's consistent every week and that's moving toward being a timeless one. The 3 C's of cuffing clarity are clarify or clarity, communication, and courage. Well, I want to hear from you because I've shared with the person in the inbox. And one of the things I am sure of, and Kamal hinted to it, is that when we don't set boundaries, we're actually setting boundaries. When we don't tell people what we want, we're actually telling people what we will take. And until you make up your mind that you will be clear, that you will communicate, that you will be courageous about what you want in any season, someone else is willing to define it for you. You must determine what you need and want versus what you will settle for. Now, my hope for you is that you will not settle. There are some times that you will make compromises, but my hope for you is that you will not settle for something that does not serve you well, that you will have the courage to walk away from it, that you will say, thank you, but no thank you. But if you find yourself in a seasonal cuffing situation, ask yourself, have I clearly communicated the boundaries? Have I said what I want and need and what I will not accept? Have I asked for them to reciprocate? Have I asked for them to give me the best of what they have to offer and give them feedback as to whether or not I feel I'm receiving that? And when I've determined that it is only a seasonal cliffhanger, do I have the courage to walk away and bow out that this is my last season? That's up to you to determine that you deserve better, that you deserve more than seasonal intimacy, unless that's what you want. No judgment here. But if the seasonal cuffing, the seasonal intimacy is not what you desire, that you want a year-round relationship that brings gratefulness into your life, may I offer that it starts with a year-round relationship that brings gratefulness into your life through the quintessential love, which is God, and the love that He has flowing to you for self-reflection of yourself being an image of His love, an agent of His love, and loving yourself. When you get to a place that you're really loving yourself, you'll be able to set boundaries more effectively because you'll be secure in who you are and what you deserve as a human being. You were created in love. I don't care what background or walk of life that you've come from, and maybe even times you felt unloved. Maybe even times you felt abandonment and loneliness, and you've been impacted by seasonal affective disorder, and you felt sad and depressed. You are still worthy of love, and you must find security in that worth because you will certainly send out into the world your attachment style, and the world will respond to define for you what you want or need if you don't define it yourself. So to the Woman in the inbox, and to all of you, whether you're watching on any of the platforms, I want you to do some introspection to say, am I secure in the love I have for me enough to set boundaries that serve me well as I interact and engage with others consistently or seasonally? What's your choice and what is your pleasure? Well, that's all I have for the show today, except I want to invite you to consider our 36 questions that lead to love. Listen, this is 2.0. We've done it before and it was very successful in a number of ways, and it was fun to do. If you're a person who is looking to look for love and you like to meet people, I hope that didn't create an issue for me. I see a little bit of issue here. Okay. I got the QR code up. If you're interested in participating, listen, 36 questions that lead to love are questions that two psychologists, when they were students, chronicled the questions, synthesized the questions that they asked each other as they were courting, and they later got married. And they created this 36 questions that lead to love that went viral. They did it as an experiment, tested it across many different strangers or people who did not know each other, who asked these questions that got them deepening their interest in each other, becoming more vulnerable, and learning more about themselves. If that resonates with you, you need to click that QR code or scan it. Let us know that you're interested. What the way that we are going to do it is, once we get a certain number of men and women, we're going to have you all come together in a Zoom room, and you'll talk one-on-one and go through the 36 questions, and we will see what happens as a result of that. Sound fun? It is fun and amazing. And you find out a lot about yourself and others. So if you're interested, please click that link or scan that QR code so that you can let us know about your interest. Also, it's the month of grateful. And you'll be hearing more about messages of gratefulness throughout the month. But we always, since the pandemic, have taken some time out on Thanksgiving Day to share with those who may not be able to be with their families. And we want to find ways that we can help families come together and ways that we can support and contribute to families, especially in this day and time where benefits have been threatened and states and cities are trying to stand in the gap because of the government shutdown to ensure people have benefits. Listen, love is what love does, and we want to do love, and not just Thanksgiving Day, but we certainly want to make sure that we can help those that might need some help on Thanksgiving Day as well. So if you're interested in supporting that effort, inbox me on any of the platforms that you're on, and I can tell you ways that you can help us make Thanksgiving and this month of grateful for everyone. You know, we are all a part of human citizenry. And until our love game is upped to cover and help others, I don't really think we're fulfilling the calling of love completely. Sure, you and I want to experience the love that we've always dreamt of, but part of our love consideration has to be love to help others. And so I hope that if that resonates with you, that you will inbox me at Love and Stuff or TikTok or Twitch or YouTube events and share with me what you would be willing to do to help families. Maybe you'll spend some time with us on our live going from uh, Thanksgiving afternoon into the evening. Maybe you will come and share music. You'll come and share comedy. You'll come and share a recipe. You'll come and share some family time. Whatever ways that you can. Maybe you'll say, hey, I want to donate to help a family, have some extra food on the table. Whatever ways your heart feels open to support, we want to join you in that work and effort of love. So please feel free to, if you want to support families, absolutely want to help you to do that here. And we will be naming families that we can help out throughout the season. We realize again, the government shutdown is impacting real people, and we want to do what we can to help those to have a great Thanksgiving. And not only that, but it's a start. Um, in this month of grateful, in this month of Thanksgiving, in this month of thankful living, we want to be a blessing to others. And if that resonates with you, consider supporting that effort. Again, if you have time on Thanksgiving and you want to participate in the Thanksgiving um, all day affair, because there are people who aren't going to go to anybody's house. There are people who lost a loved one. I can relate to that. My dear brother, Stephen, bless his memory, passed away on Thanksgiving Day. And Thanksgiving has been a tough journey ever since. And I know many of you are like me who've experienced multiple losses in your family, some who've experienced loss of their entire family and they don't have anyone to spend with. They just want to crawl up into a ball and um just not let the day go by. We want to be some light and love for them. And I hope that you will help to spread the word across all platforms that this will be a place that they can come virtually and maybe one day in person. Or if there's someone who's saying, hey, I'm impacted by the government shutdown. And I know there are states and cities trying to stand in the gap, but it's just not helping me do what I want to do, basic things for my family. Hey, we're going to be reaching out um, to other partners to help us sponsor and to help even in this time. Um, because there are many different agencies, and sometimes we may be able to recommend you to agencies that you weren't aware of. But we just want to be of some source of inspiration and help to share some love with you during the season. If that resonates with you, inbox us. Maybe you know of a family that needs some assistance. We want to do what we can. And so I want to thank you so much for joining us tonight. I hope that you will consider supporting our efforts. I'm Marcus Holmes. I'm the love activist. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a loveologist. I am advocating for better love for you and me. Maybe you want to love God more, like me. Maybe you want to love yourself more, like me. Maybe you want to love others more, like me. And you know that you could use some help, some guidance, some partners, a community that will encourage you to take the route of love. There's a route of hate. There's a route of silence. There's a route of indifference. There's a route of injustice. And I don't want you to take any of those routes. I want you to take the route of love. I want you to answer the call to love your family better. I'm trying to answer it. The call to love your coworkers better. I'm trying to answer it. The call to love better, more, and deeper. And if that's resonating with you now, go to whatever the top of the page that you are, click to connect with me so that each Tuesday night you will be notified about these opportunities because it's an amazing community and I want you to be a part of it. It will be better because you are here and we can love more with just one more. Have a grateful evening. It's the month of grateful. Take a moment in the morning. 3 things you're grateful for. Speak them aloud 3 times. Share them with 3 people and watch how it changes your everyday. Talk to you soon.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Mm, yeah. Mm. Born and dead, saved by love, count my blessings from above. and strain. Oh, sorrow, they will pass. For I know in this life there's gonna be some pain. But remember that love, yes it will. I know, yeah. Love will reign. Gotta believe it. In my heart, I truly believe sun will shine again. And love, I can hardly wait. We'll all be together. There'll be peace, peace, sweet peace, happiness and joy forever. Oh, yeah. One day, someday, pain will be over and love will reign. They won't last, for I know in this life there's gonna be some pain. In the end, love will reign. Yeah. Love will reign. Said in His word, weeping may endure the night. Love will conquer all. Love will win the fight. So don't be discouraged. Don't be dismayed. Darkest hour, just be